So we lied to you guys.
I don't know if anybody follows us on TikTok.
But we did have a viral clip of us breaking up.
It went viral.
It went pretty viral. We were surprised.
It's because it was like full of tea.
Yeah.
You know, people were like, oh shit. Like
They're
two
like,
friends,
"Oh."
two besties are on the outs.
Yeah, look at these girls,
Crazy.
green hair girl and blue glasses girl. They're not friends anymore.
I thought they'd be friends forever.
Yeah.
That's what people were commenting.
Yeah.
But turns out we were just kidding.
Just kidding, lol.
Because, and if you don't know what we're talking about, because probably not everyone follows us on
But
social
we just
medias.
explained it.
But we posted a video saying that we are done as
We're
friends.
done.
As friends. Done as
professionally.
podcast hosts together.
And it went pretty well.
But the point of that was
Not just to prank you guys.
not just to prank you, but our episode today is all about
friendship breakups. So we wanted to talk about this because I think it can be just as heartbreaking to break up with a friend.
Definitely. But it was
As I
also
can
a
do.
suggestion from
Yeah.
one of our valued listeners.
Yeah, one of our biggest fans.
One of our biggest fans actually messaged us and said, why don't you guys do an episode about friendship breakups, because they hurt. And you know,
Yeah.
I feel like people don't talk about it
They
as much.
don't.
Because
feel
there's
like-
such a high emphasis on romantic, but
Mm-hmm.
when it's a friend breakup, it almost hurts worse.
I know. I think it's like different because like when you have a breakup with somebody that I guess it depends on like how deep you are in the romantic relationship, but like friendships are supposed to be like there's no reason to end it ever.
Right.
You know? Like you're just friends.
forever.
Forever. Yeah. So it's like somebody that you come to like to confide in for like everything in life.
Yeah. And we got a couple stories from some of our listeners about their friend breakups.
What was interesting was like actually everybody that we got stories from are men.
Yeah.
And I thought that like that was interesting because usually, I mean, you hear about like female friendships being really strong and emotional, but it was interesting to hear like from 3 different men and their stories. We got some good stories.
Yeah, so those are coming up later, but they do say some insightful things, I think, about like a romantic breakup versus a friendship breakup. So stay tuned for that because they're actually pretty good. And then
They're actually pretty good.
actually pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, actually, not to toot our own horn, but
we found some good stories.
we found
for
some
guys.
stories. So November's turning into kind of a story episode. Like
Yeah.
a listener.
You know what? I hadn't thought about that, and so maybe next week we'll do some another kind of story.
Yeah, like another. I like the listeners telling us in their own words. I think it's fun. So that's kind of what November has turned into.
If you guys have an idea for next week, well, that's going to be the last week of November. Also, do we need to apologize? I don't know. I don't apologize, but we did have like some time.
I don't apologize.
Yeah. I'm going to bring in the Chapel Roan's energy.
Actually, my mental health is more
my
important.
mental health is really important. Sometimes I can't post every week. Thank you.
Thank you for understanding.
Yeah, that was basically it.
Because we haven't been.
We were not good. Yeah, I think, well, you went out of town and then,
It's always when I go out of town. That's when we fall off.
yeah. I need to go out of town
Maybe
more
you should.
often. Yeah.
That way we can fall off because of you, not me.
I also just need to like get the fuck out of this city sometimes on my own.
For sure.
Oh man, I want to go on a trip.
Oh man,
Oh man, I wish I had a car so I could go on a trip, but I could rent a car.
you could take my car.
Yeah, but
Fifi likes you. But anyway,
yeah.
should we talk about our weeks?
The only thing, well, I don't know if I want to talk about it on the pod, but the job that I applied for, because I don't want to like jinx it. Well, I won't say who the job is with. How about that?
Yeah.
But it's a very big tech company, and I made it through the first 2 rounds, which are just tests. But the fact that they even like saw my resume and were like, okay, take this test is a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because like a lot of times, like I'm sure they get like hundreds, if not thousands of people applying. So like that was pretty cool. The first test was more like a multiple choice, and then the second test was writing. I haven't heard back about the writing test yet, but
Well,
I think it's like if I weren't to pass, it probably would have been because of like the topic that I chose and not like my actual writing skills. But we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal though, just to, like you said, get recognized, and then also just to get the second test, I feel like, is a big deal. So
yeah, I hope I get it.
I'm sure a lot of people don't make it past that part.
The first test was actually, like, the second test was surprisingly easier because you basically, well, I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about the test. I'm not allowed to talk about the test, but, like, it was easier because it was, like, you can write. I like, multiple choice is sometimes harder for me because more than one answer could be true.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to tell.
you could get an answer wrong because you completely didn't understand the question, or you could get it wrong just because you were overanalyzing it, and they don't know. There's no way for you to, like, explain yourself.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think a lot of that came from, like, my last job. My boss, like, had really bad anxiety, and he would basically tell us, like, not to ask him questions because it would give him, like, anxiety. And so, like, we weren't allowed to,
Maybe you
like,
shouldn't
ask
be a
questions.
boss.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, I don't want to, I'm, a big, like, advocate for mental health, but, like, take some pills or something. Like,
I have anxiety and I take Prozac for it.
Yeah, exactly. He needs some Prozac.
And if you get anxiety just from your people below you asking you questions, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it gave him anxiety, because he really doesn't know anything. And then when people ask him, he's like, oh, I don't know the answer.
That's what I think. But I think I'm, like, right before I quit that job, actually, I think I gave him a panic attack. Well, he told me that, like,
oh my God.
He told me that, like, he had
hire Kirsten for all the jobs.
No, but it's because of his fault. Like, he can't, like, we were having lunch and we were getting our lunches in the kitchen, and the kitchen has, like, a window that's, like, facing the customers, and we were, like, in there, like, washing our hands and, like getting our lunch, and he comes in and he's like, stop just standing around. And I was like, we're getting our lunch. And me saying that,
oh my God,
me saying that, like, pissed him off so bad that he, like, stormed off, like, left, and then he got his little, like, ding dong huncho to have a meeting with me.
Ding dong huncho.
I don't even know what to call him, but he got his little fucking bitch boy to come, and, like, the three of us had a meeting, and he was like, Kirsten, I just have to tell you that, like, that was really disrespectful, and I had to leave because I almost had a panic attack or something like that. And I was like, that's, like, the moment I knew that I was going to quit that job.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Like, just saying we're getting our lunch.
Yeah.
Is going to throw you.
I guess it was, like, the tone of the way I said it. I don't know. But, like.
But also don't yell at us when we're getting our lunch.
Don't assume that we're, like, doing something wrong when we're not.
When we're just getting our lunch. Like, I'm literally just communicating to you that we're getting our lunch.
Yeah.
Why is that sending you into a frenzy?
Yeah. Like, he came in with, like, bad energy.
It sounds more than anxiety. It sounds more like
a complex, like a
very big complex, like, power trip.
Well, he did change his name from to we can cut that part out.
No, we don't need to cut it out because this man changed his name from to.
No, I have to cut it out because there's people from that job that follow me. I can't.
Fuck. Well, can we bleep it?
I think that whole story might have to be cut out.
God damn it.
Because they're gonna know who they're gonna know. But anyway, the whole reason why I brought that up, why did I even bring that up? Oh, because now the job that I have, they, like, thrive with questions. They, like, want you to ask questions.
But you're, like, scared or probably
I
before.
I was at first, but now it's, like, really helped me because I'm, like, the question asker, and, like, I'm the first to like ask the questions that other people are thinking but are too afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And I feel like if you're asking questions, like, as a trainer, I like when people ask questions because that means you're engaged and you're, like, actually thinking, curious and using your brain.
Yeah.
So I like questions, but yeah, that's wild. That's, like, opposite of what you came from.
Yeah. But I mean, that was, like, the only job that was ever like that. Like, in the past, like, I've been in, like, the sciences, and they love questions too.
Yeah.
And, like, when I worked at the school, they loved questions too. So it's like,
crazy.
That was the only job that I felt like, wow. I think that a lot of it was, like, he didn't want people to take his job, or, like, he didn't want to look bad ever. And so he saw that, like, maybe somebody's asking too many questions and that he doesn't know how to answer.
It's, like, threatening him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we had to cut it out, but I just have to say that this man changed his name from something really dorky and innocent and little to
like
a very big
name.
superhero name. Just that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So that tells you anything about this man. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
legally changed it.
Legally,
yeah.
His first and last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's LA as fuck for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you for applying and getting as far as you did. Even if you don't get the job, I still think it's a really big deal.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be disappointed, but like not, it's like cool because I already have a job.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not stressed out because you literally are fine right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So how was your week? That was a long story of my week.
It's okay. I don't have much to say because I really didn't do anything this week. I was working all week, training and waking up early, and the only exciting thing I did was Thursday night with you.
Oh yeah,
we went to 4100.
We did our field, and we did our field interviews for this episode. For this episode, which it was successful.
It was successful, and it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, I tried to dye my hair and do something really crazy cool with it, but it didn't work. So I'm over that dream.
Well,
if anyone needs to know, if you're gonna,
the people want to know. You can't just be like, I tried to dye my hair and it didn't work, and then not tell us what it was.
My hair hasn't been lightened in a long time, and my roots.
Your hair is already light naturally,
but my roots are virgin. Okay, which means they've never been colored. And if you try to put like a green, like Kirsten's using, like a semi-permanent green, except I was using black, I was going to just see if by some miracle it would color my hair. But no, even with black, you have to bleach it first or else it won't stick. So I did all that work to get this.
Yeah, and it's not that much different. But you used a different formula.
I did use a different
color.
Thank you so much for remembering.
Yeah,
I did. I went
purple.
a little more violet. So that was my week.
Well, good
That's
weeks.
all that happened.
Good weeks. But like more about the episode today. First of all, I'm Kirsten.
I'm Allie.
And you're listening to
Thank You So Much.
Thank you so much for
Friendship Breakups.
You know, they make us stronger.
They do. And that's why we're saying thank you, because everything happens for a reason, right? And if you're breaking up with someone or if you're not friends with someone, it's probably for a valid reason.
Yeah.
Just wasn't working out.
Well, I always hear the cliches of like, take all the toxicity out of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that that's true to a certain extent, but I think that there are some people that are just like, want to be the victim in situations, and they're like, well, that person's toxic, so really they could have worked it out. But in any case, we've had some friends breakups.
We have, and I think the point of this is just to talk about it because, like we said in the beginning, like people don't really talk about this, or maybe they don't hold it as high as when someone breaks up with a lover, because it's like, oh my gosh, you broke up with the lover, you must be so hurt, da da da. But when it's a friend, it's like, oh, that sucks.
But some people have friends that they like go from talking to like every single day to
so that's gonna hurt, and it's not like it sucks.
Yeah,
it's sad.
I just remembered actually a good friend. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but like, because we're friends now, but just to like give a little idea of like how intense it can be. When I was in middle school, my best friend, who our moms went to college together, like we knew each other since we were 5, but she was like kind of like running with like kind of the bad girls, like cool girls, and I was still like a little innocent. And I don't know what happened, like she made this other friend, and they like wrote me a note that was like, I don't even remember like why she was breaking up with me, but she broke up with me like through a note, and she was like, me and Tori are better friends now, or something like that.
Oh my god, that's some middle school shit right there.
But I just remember being like so devastated, and I like cried so hard that I threw up. Like I was like really upset about it.
So sad.
Yeah, Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Suzanne. Yeah, it's her.
I know her.
Well, I mean, of course we like became friends after that again, but like,
well, that's like middle school.
Yeah, it was some middle school shit. I think it was also like I don't know. I think she had like a little bisexual relationship with that girl. Oh. So I think there was like a little bit of that in there.
That'll happen.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's like how upsetting it can be. I was in middle school, of course, but
still your feelings are valid. Like that's still really upsetting. Well, I've had a couple of friendship breakups, and I feel like a lot of times they were like, oh, I'm realizing this thing about this person, and I don't want to be associated with it anymore. Like you were saying, like the toxic people. Like there were some friends that I had that were toxic and not good for me and kind of selfish and just not like there for me like I was for them. So it was one of those things where I kind of just like distanced myself from those people, and I wasn't like super sad. It was just one of those things like, you're not my people. Yeah. And that's okay. And I'm just not going to be your friend anymore. But there was one time that it actually like, and it still hurts me to this day. But I had made a friend. I was dating someone at the time, and I had made a friend while I was dating him.
When was this?
This was in 2021.
Okay, so this is like kind of recent.
Yeah, it was more recent. That's why I feel like it still hurts. But I made a friend in like 2021. She worked with me, and then we became friends, and then she quit the job, and like we were still friends, and we were hanging out a lot. Like we would go out together like on the weekends. We would like go get food. It was when I was living in South Central, and I was like closer to where she lived. And we would get stuff, and she just reminded me of like my friends from home, like Kristen and Mary. Like she was like just very supportive, like very just, we're family now, you know, like how small town friendships are, like how they're like, oh, we're family now, like we're friends and we're just family now. Yeah. That's how it felt, but in LA. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's hard. And like, I think that's like, when you find that in LA, it's really special. Like, yeah.
And like, she would.
But like, have I ever met this person? Because I was in LA at that time.
I don't think so. Because it was when I lived in South Central. So like.
Oh, yeah, we didn't hang out as much when you.
Yeah, because I was far away. But so I would go hang out with her mom. I would like I was learning Spanish to even communicate with her mom. Aww. And I was like,
yeah, that's like a relationship.
Yeah. And we would buy each other stuff all the time that reminded us of each other. And like, she was like a really good friend to me. And then when I broke up with my partner and I moved back to West Virginia, we still talked on the phone all the time. I'd call her. We used to play video games together. Like I had a headset and we would play our little video games on Xbox together, even though we were like across the country.
That's cute.
She would send me like cards, like thinking of you cards. Aww. And like she'd like paint a little picture and send it to me or something, you know, like it was just that kind of stuff.
That sounds like a little very special friendship.
Yeah. Well, eventually it just like stopped, like it started to fizzle out. She started to not talk to me as much. And then when I moved back to California, we haven't even seen each other since I moved back.
Have you reached out to her?
I have. And I have been like, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? Like you just went from talking to me like every single day.
Wait, but like while you were in West Virginia, at some point she stopped communication or?
Yeah, it started to fizzle out.
Okay.
And then when I moved back, I was like excited, like
to see her.
Yeah, like I can see you again, like, you know.
Yeah.
And even when I flew back to California with my job while I was in West Virginia, and we hung out then.
Okay. So yeah.
But when I got back from West Virginia back to California, she just like stopped texting me, stopped sending me things, stopped everything, and I was just confused. And I was thinking like, did I do something? Like, did I do something wrong you're not saying? Or did I make you mad? Or like, what's going on? And every time I asked her, she was like, no, I'm just really busy with stuff. No, just things are, you know, happening. And I'm just trying to focus on my job, or like trying to focus on school, or whatever the case was. But it just felt so odd. Yeah. And like, I asked her probably 3 times. Yeah. Like, because I was just so confused.
Yeah, you're like, we went from like 0 or to like 100 to 0.
Yeah. And to this day, I don't know what she's doing with her life. I don't think she follows me on Instagram anymore. I can't find her on Instagram anymore.
That's so weird.
I have no idea what's going on. Still, my friend has a suspicion. And I don't even think she listens to this podcast, but if you do, you know who you are, and I miss you.
Aw.
I do. My friend has a sneaky suspicion that perhaps she had a crush on me. And then when I was like not dating her, when I got back, it made her upset. Or maybe she had to like distance herself from me because she knew that we were never going to be together, which isn't even true.
Is she into girls?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not even true. Like, I might have had a little crush on her. I was just going through a breakup.
Yeah.
You know?
So that could have been a thing.
Yeah. So she might have been like distancing me because she knows.
Or maybe
like,
she started dating somebody. You know,
but she was dating people while we were friends.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I don't understand is like we would talk
maybe
about
she got in a
boys.
serious relationship and they were like, didn't like how close you guys were. And
I
they
don't
got
know.
jealous.
I really have no idea what it is. But
Also, there's some people I've like noticed, and I tend to like attract these kind of people where like they'll like latch onto you like really strong in the beginning and then they find somebody else. Like there's certain people that just have their like flavors of the month or like flavor like their little like they're like, oh my God, this is my bestie, and they have like a new bestie like every 10 months or
that's
something.
true. I mean, could be like that. It was just like so out of the blue, and to this day I have no idea why she stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
That is weird.
And I was hurt. Like
I would be hurt by
for
that,
a while
yeah.
I was like grieving our friendship.
And it's also like it's hard not knowing too, because it's like, what if I really did do something?
Yeah, and she just doesn't want to tell me.
Yeah,
and then I'll never know. And then what if I make the same mistake? Or
I'm sure
I don't
you
know.
didn't do anything though. I'm sure it's just something going on with her.
I literally can't think of anything that I would have done. But
yeah,
it might have been because she had a crush on me and she was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I have feelings for her. I need to get away. Like, it's not healthy for me. Which, if that's the case, tell me. Because I understand. I get it.
Yeah, that's like just like selfish not to say anything.
Yeah, so now I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
Twiddling my thumbs, wondering where this girl
I wonder
is.
if she'll ever like come back into your life.
I don't know. Sad about it. Still, this is making me sad.
Yeah.
But I have really good friends, and I'm happy about the friends that I surround myself with now.
Yeah. What about me?
Well,
We did break up.
we broke
yesterday.
up, so yesterday we broke up.
Yesterday.
But now that we're back together,
Mhm.
yeah, you're one of those friends.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me of this isn't the story that I was going to tell, but it reminds me of a story. This girl that we weren't as close as you and that girl were, but like she was somebody that like when I worked at the ESL school, I like moved to the admin side, and she was the only other like young girl that worked in admin, like somebody in their 20s at the time. And we used to hang out and like complain about the bosses, and we were like pretty good friends. Like we'd hang out outside of work, and like she, I don't know if I want to say too much about her, but like she like was in grad school, and she immigrated here from China, and she married a white guy, and so they had like a legit marriage. But I don't know if this is, they were like actually in love. It wasn't just like a green card
They
marriage.
had a legit marriage.
I don't know if
promise.
this like context is important for the story, but maybe it can give you an idea of like who she is. And she like lived in Santa Monica, and we would like hang out sometimes during the pandemic too. Like, so we stayed friends even after I like quit that job.
Mm-hmm.
And we would hang out during the pandemic and blah, 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 blah. And then one day like her dog died, and it was actually her husband's dog, and she used to complain about the dog a lot. Like she'd be like, the dog's name was Dog, and she'd be like, Dog is so fucking annoying. Like she would always like really complain about him, but like she loved him, of course. And I think like after that happened, I can't find her on social media. Like I think maybe she got mad that I didn't like go, because I think I was like, I said something like, oh, like maybe I'll come like see you, and we never like made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder if that's why. But like that was my last interaction with her, was that her dog died. And then now I had tried to like text her to like reach out to her, never got a reply, and now I can't find her on social media. So
That's so weird.
yeah,
People are just weird sometimes.
I know. But
never
she
know.
was like a little weird. Like she would always like get like, I think she was a little homophobic.
Ooh.
And so I wonder if she like found out that I was queer somehow. Because there was this girl that we worked, well, she was another young girl that we worked with, but that girl I was kind of annoying, but I guess she would like sometimes like be like a little touchy with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the other girl we've noticed would hang out with this girl that looked like pretty lesbian, and she would like bring her to the Christmas parties, and so we think that she was like secretly a lesbian. But my friend like got really mad that she was like touching her, and like went to HR about it, and like So I feel like it was some homophobic shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been, and she could have just been like, nope, don't want to.
Yeah. But like the other girl, I mean, maybe she was inappropriate, but I don't think it was inappropriate. It would just be like, oh, I like you, like we're friends, you know, like that kind of stuff. But I think that she was so upset by it. I almost think she was so upset because like she knew that she was queer.
Yeah, like brought up these feelings of things she didn't want to accept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be it.
So I wonder if she like found out somehow that, because I don't think I ever talked to her about me being bi. So I wonder if she like found out somewhere online.
That could be it.
And then stopped.
I think it's fun to try to figure out why our friends stopped talking to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be these things, could be these things. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm remembering of one other friend breakup I had. I'm not going to harp on it too much, but she, and I don't think she listens to this, but one of my friends had just kind of always been a little selfish and into herself and just like not really regarding anyone else. And she brought this, first of all, yeah, see, I don't know if I want to say it.
No, I want to hear it.
She brought this guy to my birthday party, and he was gay.
Okay.
And she's married to a man.
Okay.
But this gay guy, apparently she had a big crush on him, even though he's gay.
But she knows he's gay.
Yep, everyone knows he's gay. And she brings him to my birthday party. He brings his boyfriend. She gets really mad.
Okay. Why?
Because she wanted to hook up with gay boy.
What?
And instead this is this like crazy delusional world that she's making up in her head.
Yeah.
Because she is married to a husband, but they were like experimenting on like opening their relationship
But
up.
he's gay. Was he even interested?
No. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, he's like not bi. He's gay. He's not interested in women. He has his boyfriend at the party.
Yeah.
And it pissed her off so much she made the whole night about herself.
Oh my God.
And then on top of that, the boyfriend touched my vagina. Grabbed my vagina.
So the boyfriend was, well, that's like a separate thing though.
Right. That's a separate thing. That guy that she's associated with grabbed me, being like, he was trying to be silly. Like, you know how gay guys do that thing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to just touch your pussy real quick.
Yeah.
But like, you can't do that. If you're a gay man, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're not allowed to touch women just because you're not interested in women.
Yeah, because
nobody likes to be touched. I'm not gonna grab your dick.
Especially I don't know you at all. I just met you. Like, that was so weird. And so I kind of made a thing about it, like just being like, no, like they need to go. And she like didn't care. She didn't stand up for me or anything. So
selfish.
I just stopped hanging out with her.
Yeah,
but we're on like,
we still know each other.
Yeah, we're on Instagram and like we message each other.
I get that. I would like distance myself.
I was
from
just
that,
like, no,
too.
this is too much. This is like the last straw. Like I don't want to be around you anymore. And it was my birthday. Like, why are you making this about a fake situation that you're upset with that wouldn't even happen in the first place? Like, it was just so
weird. Yeah,
weird and off-putting. I was like, no, I'm done.
I'm good.
Yeah, but you know that one didn't hurt. Like,
maybe someday we'll figure out why these people.
Yeah,
ghosted
maybe.
us.
Maybe I'll write a letter when I'm like 80 and be like,
"You're the one that got away." But I was going to tell a story about a crazy roommate that I had, but it's not really a friend story, and I think that one maybe could go for another episode. Yeah, maybe we'll do an episode on crazy roommates. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I have some of those too.
Yeah,
yeah.
So maybe that'll be the next one. But
ooh, we could get stories of other people's crazy roommates.
People always have everybody has one.
Everyone has a crazy roommate.
Yep. Roommate from hell.
Yep.
So we did our field interviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got some stories out on the field.
Yeah.
Out in the bar.
And the first guy that approached us didn't want to be. This is what always happens to us. They don't want to be recorded. But he did have a good story, so I feel like we could tell it real fast.
Yeah, he first of all walked up to us. He was our first customer. Walked up to us. We had a sign out that said...
And he was like a cute little tall cowboy guy.
He was a tall cowboy guy, but like but like his outfit was like trendy.
Yeah.
Like it was a cool cowboy look.
Yeah.
Like not just
modern,
like just not like a normal cowboy look.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people are doing the cowboy look. But yeah.
Yeah, so he was wearing a cool hat, and he came and sat down and didn't want to be recorded because, you know, we're so famous that his voice...
A lot of people are going to hear it.
Yeah, and recognize him. But he did say that he had a friend who... You go ahead.
Why?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the story at all? So it was like a friend.
No, I remember.
It was a friend who he knew from college, and they would talk on the phone for hours every night. Like they were really close friends.
Yeah, like literally hours and like just talking all the time.
And like all the time. And then he found out that he was gay. I don't know like where in the timeline he found out that his friend was gay, but like
it was after they were like already really close.
Yeah, but anyway, like they were just really close friends, talk on the phone all the time, and then like at some point, I forget how it ended, but like
I remember that part. His friend came out to him, and he was like, "Okay, I don't care, you know, that's fine,
so whatever."
And then his friend got a boyfriend, and then that's when he stopped talking to him.
But he doesn't know if it's because of the boyfriend.
He doesn't know, but he just like that just happened around the same time, and he just like straight up stopped talking to him. And didn't he say like even on Instagram and stuff?
Yeah, he like blocked him.
He blocked him and like all this stuff, and he was like, was it the boyfriend being like, you know, your relationship is too close with this guy? And he was like, I don't know. Could have been. And then he also thought maybe, or I asked him, do you think he had a crush on you because of my story?
Yeah.
I was like, But he was like, no, I really don't think so at all.
But maybe he did, and he just didn't pick up. Maybe he was like saying that because he didn't want to be like, well, he didn't want to like entertain the idea that maybe he's a little homophobic is what I'm saying. Maybe he didn't want to like entertain the idea that like he could have been like involved in
true. But we don't know him, but he was just like, I don't know why he stopped talking to me, and he said it hurt him a lot, like he was really sad about it. And that's why I think it is interesting that we got all men.
We did get two more people.
Yeah.
Well, one was actually a friend of a friend.
Oh yeah, one was a friend of a friend.
So should we play that one first?
Yeah,
maybe?
he told us his friend breakup story, and we're gonna play that for you right now.
We have a story. Okay. So I was dating this girl, and she had dated this girl before me, and me and this girl ended up being the girl that she had dated before me ended up being friends, like best friends actually. And time passed, a bunch of stuff happened where like they had separated and we had gotten back together, whatever it may be. And then one day my ex came to me and told me that she like had a crush on my best friend. And I was just like, oh, that's a lot. Kind of like talk to me about it. It was just, you know what I'm saying? And like, I was like trying to be rational and like respectable about it. Cause I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Talk to me about it. I was like, okay. Next day, we were supposed to play kickball together because I had like organized the kickball game for the homies. And on the way to pick up my ex, my best friend told me that she felt the same, but she was just really trying to fuck. And I was just like, oh, this is a lot, bro. And like, yeah, so we played.
Your best friend was trying to fuck your ex.
And my ex was also trying. They was just trying to fuck. They was trying to fuck each other. Yeah, we played a whole kickball game. And then afterwards, niggas was not trying to talk about it, but I was trying to talk about it because I was like, bro, this is weird. So don't nobody want to talk to me. I just take my time, you know what I'm saying, and like step off and just kind of do my own thing. And then I broke up with my ex that day, like right then, because I was just like, okay, bro, like.
Wait, you were with them?
I was with all of them. I was with all my homies and both of them. Yeah, like we was all like kicking it still. You know what I'm saying? Literally like playing kickball, you know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, all right, this is ass, bro. Like nobody's trying to talk about the weird ass situation. Was
she trying to like do like a threesome or something?
Nah, it wasn't even on that shit. It was just I don't know if it was on that shit.
Okay.
I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't even there yet to really like, but I don't think that's what it was because like they had already had a pre-existing relationship, so I was like, whatever. But anyway,
so it was a cheating thing. Really?
Close. Yeah, almost. You know what I'm saying? Like almost.
And so then you were gonna break it off before that even happened.
Yeah. I was just like, all right, bro. Like y'all obviously on some type of shit. I'm cool on this. I broke up with her. Then it just became this whole big thing. You know what I'm saying? And then like me and her obviously broke up that day. And then post that, yeah, we just stopped being friends. Like one day we was trying to talk. I think we had like planned a day to like talk about shit and like kind of reconcile from all the bullshit that kind of happened. And they like stood me up pretty much. So I was just like, okay, bro, like I'm tired of trying to look out for you and giving a fuck about your feelings. And I was done from that moment on, you know what I mean? But
were you sad? Like, what did it take a while to like get over that?
I mean, yeah, it took a minute because I mean, like we're good now to whatever degree that can be.
But it's not ever going to be the same.
Yeah, it's not the same, of course, but like we good because, you know, I get it, I guess, you know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely hurt my feelings. Made me feel a type of way about just like building friendships with people, you know, put me on my own personal journey of like learning how to be in relationships. And it's all relationships at the end of the day. And I feel like part of the big reason I feel like we don't talk about friendship breakups and all these different like nuances of separation from people is because we put an emphasis on romance that does not exist within the context of platonic relationships and all these other different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even working with people. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to care about you.
A relationship is
a relationship is a relationship. And people not giving love in those situations, you know what I'm saying? And they're reserving love that is natural and like positive, you know what I'm saying, for one specific context, then you kind of cut yourself off from really like having relationships with people and loving people, you know what I'm saying? So
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Thanks for sharing.
Aw, that was a good story. Yeah, I at the time it was like pretty distracting, but listening to it again, like I really like kind of get his feelings a little more with that because that sucks.
Yeah, so it was like the girl. I was getting confused because he kept calling her his ex, but they were actually dating at the time.
I think that they had like broken up and then got back together kind of situation, and then but the best friend was like another girl.
Yeah. So it sounds like his girlfriend was just bi or pan or whatever and wanted to fuck his best friend.
Yeah, but wasn't it that like the best friend
also wanted to fuck his girlfriend?
Yeah, but wait, who came to him first about it and told him first about it? I forgot. Was it the best friend or the girlfriend?
I think it was the girlfriend. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to...
like, good that he broke up with her in the moment.
Yeah, because that would piss me off too.
Yeah, because if he's not like trying to do a polyamorous thing,
it's like, why are you talking to me about wanting to fuck my best friend?
Yeah,
that's
and
red
the fact
flag.
that they're like, it sounds like they were trying to be like nonchalant about it, and he was like, no, like this is fucked up.
Yeah, like you're my girlfriend. Like, what are you talking about?
That's like, I feel like that happens a lot. Like he's a little younger. He's still in his 20s, and I think that like that happens a lot in like younger relationships where they're like just not trying to be serious. Like I think like things like that happened. I remember like when I was in college, like people would be like very nonchalant about like that person's hot, or like they just didn't take relationships as seriously.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're that young, it's like you see the outside things more and you're like, oh, this person's hot and I want to have sex with her. But then you don't really think about like the implications of that. And also you don't think about like how much goes into a relationship rather than just sex.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more that goes into it. Like, yeah, this person is
when
hot.
You're young, your hormones are all like raging and you're just like,
this person's hot, I want to fuck.
Yeah.
But you don't understand that like you might be throwing away something really, really special.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more to relationships than just fucking.
Yeah.
And being hot.
I really feel for him in that moment. Like I feel bad like that happened to him. That really sucks to like lose, like not only like lose your girlfriend, but like also lose a friend.
Yeah,
like,
because of each other.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, and he did say like that has changed his outlook on relationships going forward. And I'm sure it does, especially being younger and that happening. Like you're going to look at everyone kind of with a side eye.
Yeah, it's going to like,
or if
I
you
could see that like also turning somebody into like a fuck boy or something.
Yeah.
Not saying that happened with him at all, but like I could see that making you just be like, well, fuck a relationship.
That's
like if everybody
a lot
just
of,
wants to fuck, like
that's how fuckboys are made.
yeah.
But
yeah.
also I could see it turning him off from dating queer women in the future.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So that was,
that too.
because those are the women who give us a bad rep.
I know, because it's like people are like, well, I don't want to date a bi girl because like she
might fuck everyone.
yeah, like she can fuck anybody.
Yeah, but it's like, well, that actually happened to him where she was like, yeah, I want to fuck your best friend.
Yeah, and then I think that's like might have been a situation where like maybe the girls were like, oh, well, maybe because there's that sort of idea that it doesn't count if it's a girl.
Yeah, maybe
for
he'll
some
be cool
people.
with it because it's a girl.
Yeah,
but he was like, no.
He's like, nah, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that one.
Yeah, thanks, friend. If you're listening to this, maybe he'll listen to it.
Maybe.
But yeah, that was a sad story. But it is like an interesting. It can just get really complicated with friendships and relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope your next relationship is good.
Yeah. Don't let that one
sour the mood for the rest of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we got another one. This one was pretty juicy as well.
This is our last one.
I mean, it's another one like a friendship betrayal.
Yeah, it's
story.
a betrayal.
Mm-hmm. And this one's like really betrayal.
Yeah.
Not that the other one wasn't, but this one.
Yeah.
You'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Okay, we're gonna play it for you right now.
So there was once a girl that I was hopelessly in love with. Like, I would say actually more so infatuated with than in love with, because I knew her pretty well, but I didn't really know her well enough to like be properly in love with her. And we had so much in common, and I was so excited about spending time with her and getting to know her, and I was really trying my best to pursue her, And I invited her to a rave with me and my friends one time, as you do. And I was like, and she had never done Molly before, and she was really excited to try it. And I was like, this is going to be a great opportunity for us to potentially really connect,
Yeah.
So I brought her to this
Molly?
event. yeah, Molly will do that. Molly will do that, yeah. So I brought her to this event, and another friend who was like a mutual friend of ours showed up. And guy, very attractive guy. This guy is like gorgeous human being, like one of those people that you're just like, God damn it, when you look at it, you're like, it's not better looking than
Obviously not.
he's objectively better looking than me, for sure. Yeah, and he's like Italian and like foreign.
No, not the Italian.
And anyways, we're at this event, and like right from the get-go, this girl who I was interested in sort of like started latching herself onto him. And it became kind of clear that she was actually interested in him. And he's a friend of mine, and he knows how I feel about her.
Yeah, that's.
And so he actually comes to me early on in the evening before things start to get all weird because the drugs. To get my blessing. Well, not necessarily. He just says like, hey, I noticed this girl is like kind of interested in me. Like, would it bother you if I danced with her like throughout the night? And I was like,
A little bit.
like the thing is like, I don't have any right to tell her who she can and can't dance with. I don't have any right to tell him who he can and can't dance with. And I kind of thought like, oh, they're just dancing, couldn't really be that harmful, right? So anyways, fast forward later on in the night, I'm rolling on Molly, and like I'm a little bit anxious because they've been just like dancing together the whole night, and I really wanted to spend time with her. And long story short, I ended up like sort of walking into them making out. And
Like on the dance floor?
Yeah.
No.
And I'm like on drugs, and so all my emotions are elevated, and I'm just like, fuck me, that really hurts badly, like I really like this girl, and
Did
she's
you
into
cry?
you, and now I'm jealous because you're more attractive than me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just hurt me really badly.
Yeah.
And funny enough, this story's not actually about that guy. The story's about a different guy.
Oh.
Because I
I'm
come home
listening.
from the rave that night with my friends, my other friends, including my best friend in the world, who, he was my best friend in the world. And my best friend in the world is comforting me about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm down in the dumps deep. I'm like seriously like,
Were you
I'm
crying?
I'm crying. I'm on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking catatonic
Yeah.
because of the Molly hangover, and also just like the
Been
whole
there.
night, which was supposed to be amazing.
Mhm.
And I really wanted to connect with her. Ended
Like
up being
all of
the
your
opposite.
hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
just, like,
exactly. So
came
I was
crashing
really
down.
devastated.
Yeah.
And he comforted me throughout the whole night and like that following week.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that really brought us super close together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it's a good friend.
So fast forward like 6 months, me and this person are now living together.
Yeah.
And we're still best friends. And this girl, who at one point I was so infatuated with and in love with, who to be honest, I kind of still had feelings for. She's like coming over all of a sudden. And she's a mutual friend of ours. And so I'm like, okay, maybe she just wants to like come and hang out. But it turns out that she and my best friend were actually hooking up.
And he didn't tell
And
you?
he didn't tell me. And they started just like kind of trying to hide it at first and being a little dodgy about it.
Yeah.
And then one night I come downstairs and they're like in the living room all over each other. And I was just like, yeah. And not only that, but the guy who was comforting me about the first time.
Yeah,
and
he
he's
knew
my
how
best
upset
friend.
you were.
Yeah.
And
And,
then to just
and to be honest, that really broke me.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like betrayal on top of betrayal.
That is.
And I also felt so inadequate because this best friend is also like a really attractive like actor guy, you know.
Maybe you should start hanging out with uglier people.
Maybe I should start hanging out with other people, yeah. And I was really hurt, and I was obviously really hurt. And the worst part of it all was that he acted like
You didn't do
like,
anything wrong.
what's wrong? Why are you so upset?
Oh my God,
And I was like,
you know what you did, bro.
That's
are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
And I think once he saw how upset I was, he kind of like stopped playing dumb,
Yeah.
and he did apologize. It was a shitty apology, but he did apologize. And although we are still friends today, I think that
It's never gonna go.
it's
back.
never going to be the same.
That
I still
sucks.
feel very betrayed.
Yeah.
And
He went behind your back.
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did,
you were
and he
betrayed. Yeah, you
didn't-
don't
and
just
he didn't
feel
really properly
betrayed.
apologize, and he didn't really seem like he was actually remorseful.
He was
for what
probably
he
just
did.
apologizing because he could tell you were upset, but he didn't
Yeah.
really think he did anything wrong.
Yeah,
You know? Which is concerning.
yeah, it is concerning.
Damn.
So
Well,
that's
thank
my
you-
story.
thank
I'm on
you
your
for
side
sharing.
about this because
Yeah.
fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
No problem. That was a very hurtful moment in my life. I'm kind of shaking because I'm nervous to talk
Oh
about
my
it.
god. Yeah.
There's this thing about romantic relationships. I think it's like, if it's not working or somebody does something that hurts the other person, it's like, well, I guess it's just not going to work out. And that's kind of like, that was always a possibility.
Yeah.
And so it's okay in a way.
Yeah.
It's like possible for it to like
Right.
end
You
and it
go
be
into
okay.
it thinking.
But with a friend, it's like, in theory, that should never happen.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason why that would ever happen is if somebody does something like really wrong.
Yeah. Damn.
And so it does hurt worse.
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Especially me, I come from a family where I was never really close to anybody in my family. I never really identified with being a part of that family. And so my friends are really important to me.
Yeah.
They're kind of like my
Your chosen
family
family.
in
Yeah.
a way. And so in a way, it felt not only breaking up with a friend, but also breaking up with
A family
the
member.
person in your life who you're really closest with.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Of
That
course.
was a good story.
Yeah, that was a really shitty thing for his friend to do. And
People are
I just want to
shitty.
say, if you're listening to this, man, thank you for sharing and thank you for being so open, because he was very like vulnerable and interesting story, because he explained his feelings really well. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, god damn.
To have someone see you so upset.
Yeah, it's like the
And
context of the background. Like he
Mhm.
was like so upset. And I
He
feel
was
like
there
there's
for him.
There's this, and that's another thing. I mean, this guy, I don't know how old he is, but it might have been another thing where they were really young. And I think there's this sort of deviance. It just reminds me of reality TV sometimes,
Yeah.
where like when you're not supposed to do something,
It makes you
then
wanna
it's like
do it more.
sexier.
Yeah.
And so that might have been like part of it for them. Not like giving it an excuse at all, but I wonder if that was like part of it. Like, oh, like we can't let our friend know, and which is so shitty.
And
like,
then again, it's like you don't realize that you're fucking up this really important friendship that you've built.
yeah, exactly.
And it's just for like this one person.
Yeah.
Because you want to get your dick wet.
Right. And it's like he's probably not even with that girl anymore. Maybe he is, but like
Doubt it.
it's like that's not you just ruined your friendship.
Yeah.
Something that like could have been like a really good friendship, like a lifetime friendship for some sex.
Yeah. And I like what he said about how you go into a relationship, like a romantic relationship, thinking there is a possibility that this isn't going to last. I mean, how
Yeah.
many people have you married that you've dated?
All of them.
Oh.
But yeah, it is sort of like, yeah, you go into a friendship like thinking you're not thinking, oh, okay, well, we might break up someday.
Yeah, like this
Like,
might end one day. You
yeah.
go into it thinking I really like this person, and especially something after that, like when he's consoling him and you go through stuff with that person and you feel really, really close to them, almost like their family. That's how I feel about you.
Aww.
But, and then to just backstab your
yeah,
friend.
that's so fucked up.
It's so messed up.
Also, if their friend ever listens to this, I don't think they ever will. There's no way. But like, fuck a person like that. Like,
yeah.
Seriously, I hope
It's
karma
not-
comes back to them.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, it is just never worth it. Like, and I'm saying this with like friendships, romantic relationships, like cheating wise, like everything. It is not worth it.
Yeah.
Don't backstab your friend for this good time.
Yeah, like a moment of
a moment of time.
Yeah.
Like that's so stupid. And it's almost saying like that's not as important to you as just getting your dick wet.
yeah, like literally that 30 seconds of time.
Yeah, and then it's like
It probably was 30 seconds.
yeah, you probably nutted in 2 seconds, honestly. But like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it to ruin an entire friendship. And I hope that guy does learn like not to do that kind of shit to people, because like you're never gonna have like anything fulfilling in your life if you go around like doing shit like that.
No, you're never gonna have any good relationship, even romantic or friend
Yeah.
wise. Like,
you have to like
because if you can do that
control
with your friend,
yourself and like trust.
if someone can do that to their best friend,
Yeah, imagine what they do in a like a relationship.
yeah.
Yeah. But I hope you guys liked this episode. It's it was a kind of last minute topic, but it was
Turned out to be good.
it turned out to be really good.
Mhm.
I think maybe next week we'll try to do another field interview one.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. I don't know if we'll see. But maybe it'll be roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for everybody who shared their stories, and let us know what you guys think. Do you like this style of episode? Do you like the little stories that we've been doing?
Mhm.
Maybe we'll continue to do more.
Let us know your thoughts.
And if you have any thoughts about the betrayals that happened, let us know too.
Yeah.
If you have any advice for these people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Love you a lot.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.